my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business?
Megyn is on tour, and basically 2 days after she had Tucker on, she happened to have Ben on. I'm sure the tour was laid out way in advance of that, so she didn't know that any of this was coming. She then has Ben on. Ben was just in rare form. Like, you don't want to wind up a little guy that talks fast. I think that's what everybody learned.
You know, I think you and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not. But my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erika of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't take in that content, which is an honest statement. I don't have time to watch Candace's show.
I believe you. But the point that I'm making is that
what I understand
friendship
Candace
should not, in our business, I think it's important. Listen, friendship should not trump.
We don't even know each other.
I understand, but even with Tucker, friendship should not trump our manifest requirement to speak out when people do and say things that are both detrimental to conservatism and morally wrong.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I think the way of handling that, at least for me.
All right, first off, again, like, I know I guess I'm glazing Ben right now, but he deserves it. It is not easy to go onto someone else's show in general when it's not a live audience and criticize them, but it's really not easy to do it when you're in front of thousands of people. I don't know how many people are at those shows, but it's certainly thousands. You can add it to me. When thousands of people are there to watch Megyn, and then you have to criticize her a little bit, and he did it absolutely respectfully, and I think he did it properly. Listen, I don't care. Look, you can tell, I don't really want to talk about Tucker. I certainly don't want to talk about this Nick guy, but sometimes these things just hit you in the desk, and I agree with Ben. Like, I have a job to do, and if I don't address the things sometimes that I don't want to, then I'm probably not very good at my job, and you should watch another show. I don't really want to talk about Candace. We were great friends for a long time. She has been to this house for dinner. She loves chicken parm and says that David's chicken parm is the best she's ever had, which Megyn Kelly does too, by chance. He makes a great chicken parm. So I don't want to criticize her, and I've largely stayed out of the fight with her. I don't want to criticize Tucker. Here's Tucker on Dave Rubin from Don't Burn This Book. It's on the back. Dave Rubin is one of the bravest, smartest people I know, as well as a tremendous television presence. Tucker has been talking shit about me on his show for months. Okay, so it doesn't give me great pleasure. I offered to sit down with him on his show or mine, unedited live. I offered to broker peace, privately I'm talking about, back in May with him and Ben. But as Ben said, I didn't get into this for friendship. My two best friends on the planet are my friend John, who I met when I was 4 years old in kindergarten, and my buddy Ari, who I met in 3rd grade. And I got great people here, and I have plenty of other friends. So these people kind of come in your life, and then you feel like you shouldn't do anything. And that's what he's slightly criticizing Megyn for, I suppose, although she says she's definitely not friends with Candace, and to whatever extent she's friends with Tucker. I understand what that is. I understand that you meet these people, you hang out with them, you've broken bread to them, you go to events with them, and then you don't want to. But it's very easy for anyone to criticize Meghan Markle and then just be like, oh, well, Candace is saying things, and I'm just not going to say anything about it. That's the most soft glove way. I don't want to. I'll text Megyn after, because I'm not trying to go after Megyn, but I think you see the point here.